Ladies and gentlemen, are we live? Oh yeah, we are live, folks. This is Ingram Wrestling News' very own Brendan Ingram here with your October the 2nd, 2020 NXT review. I mean, not NXT review, but Smackdown review. So this is your October 2nd, 2020 Smackdown review. Of course, we are going to go over what happened on Smackdown. My thoughts on the show. Well, let's see. The beginning and the end of the show was great. But the middle of the middle of the show was absolutely terrible. For a lot of reasons that I'm not going to explain right now. But anyways, we're gonna go over what happened on SmackDown. I really enjoyed this show a little bit. A little bit, not much. I enjoyed the slightest of this show, you know. It's always great to enjoy a WWE show. But it's not always great to watch Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown with a whole lot of garbage on the shows every Monday nights and Friday nights. Now, you know that for sure. You know damn well. You know damn well I don't like watching garbage on Friday Night SmackDown and Raw. And that's exactly what we got on that show last night. But anyways, seriously, my thoughts on the show, folks. The beginning and the end of the SmackDown show was great. Was it the greatest show overall? No. Was the show great? Absolutely not. Was the show good? Yes. Was the show okay? Yes. Was the show bad? Yeah, that. And we're going to go over all of that garbage. We're going to go over all of that garbage that happened on the show. On this show. So, before that, hit that like, subscribe button, turn on bell for notifications. Of course, you never miss my Monday Night Raw, NXT, and SmackDown reviews. They go live weekly, each and every week. Some weeks I may not go live with my NXT, Raw, and SmackDown reviews. Some weeks I will. Now, the reason why I say some weeks I may not go with my NXT, may not go live with my NXT, Raw, and SmackDown reviews, because some of these shows have been garbage as of late. A lot of these Monday Night Raw and SmackDown shows have been garbage as of late. But this episode of SmackDown is a whole lot better than last week's SmackDown. I'm going to be honest. Sitting here drinking a sip of my Kool-Aid here. Anyways, I'm going to be honest. This show was better than last week's SmackDown. I mean, last week's SmackDown was even worse than I thought. I mean, last week's SmackDown was another 2-hour waste on last week's Friday Night SmackDown. I was about to call this one another 2-hour waste part 1, but come to find out, there were some good things on this show. There were some positive and negatives. So, folks, I'm going to go ahead and begin my SmackDown review here. I hope you have your volumes turned up, because you know I'm going to be as loud as I can. This review is going to be good. I promise to make this good. I promise to do this for all of you viewers that always view my videos, that always watch my videos and like my videos. I promise to do this for everybody who loves my content on my YouTube channel, who loves what I do on my YouTube channel. And I appreciate the respect I am getting from certain people on Twitter that are viewing my YouTube videos, my content. And I'm also I also want to thank some of you for respecting, respecting the fact that I always upload my England Wrestling News videos to give you the latest AEW, WWE, and Pro Wrestling news. And speaking of that, be sure you follow me on Twitter for all that. And also follow me on Twitch. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that like button on this video. And like I said, this review is going to be good. It is going to be good. I can promise you right now it's going to be fucking good. I'm going to make it good, entertaining. I'm going to make you guys laugh. I'm probably going to rant on Mr. McMahon and in their WWE creative garbage. You never know. But most importantly, I'm going to make this review make sense. So, let's go ahead and get started. The SmackDown review, folks. Let's talk about it. So, opening segment. The opening segment for last night's SmackDown opened up with a look backstage at Roman Reigns' win over Jey Uso at Clash of Champions this past Sunday. So Roman Reigns makes his entrance inside the Thunderdome. That's what they call it, the Thunderdome. Paul Heyman flanks Roman because Eric Bischoff has officially become a fan of the Thunderdome. Of course, that news was coming out of Ringside News. Of course. I read that news article. It says he was a big fan of the Thunderdome. Why? Now, Eric Bischoff, I have a question for you. Why would you want to be a big fan of the Thunderdome? I don't get it. That's my question to you, Mr. Eric Bischoff. And by the way, before I continue reading what opened up with SmackDown, I just want to say that I have some news on WWE likely moving SmackDown to FS1 for World Series. I'm going to go over that with y'all probably at the end of this review. Or probably later on in this review. So anyways, back to what I was reading, folks. So tonight's show opens up with a look back at Roman Reigns' win over Jey Uso, Clash of Champions. This past Sunday, Roman Reigns makes his entrance inside the Thunderdome. Paul Heyman flanks Roman as he steps into the red carpeted ring for his coronation. Heyman says he is a little nervous because he has known Roman and his family since he was born, and they all knew it was Roman's destiny to become the tribal chief, not just the tribal chief of his family, not just SmackDown, but the tribal chief of the entire WWE universe, folks. And that's why it's crucial that Roman be the WWE Universal Championship. Universal Champion. Because that's what he is. The Universal Champion. The Tribal Chief of Friday Night SmackDown, of course. He's the big dog, Tribal Chief. They still call him the big dog, too. Michael Cole does that. Here comes the big dog. I had something in my throat. Excuse me. Here comes the big dog. Throat felt a little. It felt a little scratchy there. It felt really scratchy. Anyways, Heyman continues, but Roman holds out a hand and asks for the mic. He asks for the microphone. Roman says he doesn't want Paul Heyman to acknowledge him as the chief because Jey never acknowledged him as it. Jimmy did, but Jey didn't. So he demands Jey to come out right now. Jey Uso comes to the ring by himself and says Roman showed his true colors at Clash of Champions. but so did he. Roman beat his ass, but he never broke his spirit. He never broke his spirit. But if Jey, I keep getting them mixed up. If Jimmy hadn't thrown the title in, he would be Universal Champion right now. Roman stares at Jey before asking if he thinks he's proud of what he did. Clash of Champions was the worst night of his career, professionally and personally. He didn't want to do it, but he was trying to do Jey a favor. Obviously, this is all scripted. Just so I let y'all know that. Just so I give you the icing on the cake, Like, what's true and what's not true, So, anyways, putting him in the main event for once and get him a big payday. He says all he wanted was for Jey to acknowledge him as Tribal Chief, the thing he was born to be. And it's not as if he hasn't worked his ass off for this. And Jey knows that. He wanted to put their family back in their rightful position, but Jey prevented that and embarrassed the entire family. Roman berates Jey for not looking him in the eyes, staring at the title, and says he can have another shot at Hell in a Cell if he's so obsessed, but that match will have higher stakes than any other in WWE history. Roman hugs Jey and whispers something, then leaves halfway up the ramp. Jey takes the mic and tells him he doesn't care what the stakes are. He's in. AJ Styles comes out after Roman leaves and asks if the Lolo is over. He says none of that crap matters, but Jey matters to him, and that's because he doesn't want to see Jey take another beating like he did at Clash of Champions. So he should give the opportunity to someone more qualified. AJ makes fun of Jey, so Uso attacks him, and AJ rolls outside. Uso runs across the announce table and hits a flying clothesline as they head to the first break of the night. So it comes back from commercial break, and the match between AJ Styles, the first time ever matchup between AJ Styles and Jimmy Uso begins. Yes, this is a first time matchup. In my opinion, it is. I don't. People may have a different opinion. They may say, this is not a first time matchup. To me, in my opinion, this is a first time matchup. Time to get a sip of my Kool-Aid again. Mouth feels dry. This Kool-Aid I'm drinking here is grape. It's really good. So here's what happened this match between AJ Styles and Jey Uso. The match begins and AJ tries to whip Jey to the corner, but it's reversed. Jey hits a body slam and a running splash, but misses a body attack in the corner. And that's how you know this match was getting intense so far. It was getting real personal and serious. The back and a kick to the chest before a running knee for a 2 count. Styles choke him using the bottom rope and unleashes a flurry of strikes, but Jey fires back and knocks AJ from the ring. Uso looks for a suicide dive, but AJ Styles throws a boot in his face, then drags him out of the ring and drops him on the announce table with a suplex. AJ is in control as they head to commercial break. So back from commercial break, they return to see Jey roll up AJ for a 2 count. Then Styles drops him for a 2 count. Styles takes a rare chin lock to hold Jey down, but Uso fights up and kicks AJ in the gut. Then delivers an uppercut and a Samoan drop. Jey hits a toss neck breaker for a 2 count. Styles hits a Pele kick, followed by Oshi for a near fall. So AJ wants to hit the Styles Clash, but Jey flips him over the ropes into the apron. So then he hits a enziguri. Jey hits a suicide dive, then gets AJ back inside. Excuse me. Styles knocks Jey back and goes to the apron for the phenomenal forearm. But Jey kicks his feet out from under him. That's what I figured. Jey lands a super kick and goes up top for an Uso splash for the win. This is surprising that they would let Jey Uso get over AJ Styles like that, the way they did. It was surprising. Of course, this match between AJ Styles and Jey Uso was a intense match. It wasn't no instant classic, but it was a great match. I can tell you that much. It was definitely a interesting matchup. Did it deliver? Sorta. Not much though. Not much. It didn't really deliver that much, but it sorta did. Honestly, I'm not a fan of Uso getting over AJ Styles either. Getting over at the expense of AJ Styles, not to mention. But you know what? I also think Styles is going to Raw next week in the draft. I also think that. I'm pretty sure you all can agree with me when I say that. For real. And I also think some more SmackDown superstars are possibly getting traded to Raw as well. Anyways, moving on to the next, folks. So later tonight, it said last night it said that Alexa Bliss would appear on the KO show, and Sami Zayn will defend his new Intercontinental Championship against Jeff Hardy. So Sami Zayn is backstage, and he's holding 2 Intercontinental titles. He says he knows people expect him to gloat, but he's feeling a lot more resentful because of what he had to go through to defend what was his all along. He blames the fans for going along for the ride and not defending him while he was gone. Sami takes the title that belonged to Styles and Hardy, and he dumps it in the trash. So they go to commercial break, and back from commercial break, we get this god-awful garbage league squash match between Otis and John Morrison. Folks, WWE can use John Morrison on TV better than that now. I will say that John Morrison is better off as a singles competitor. I don't think he should have been booked in this match against Otis. I don't think he deserved to lose in this match against Otis. If anything, I think Otis deserved to lose in this match against John Morrison. I really, But anyways, folks, John Morrison is better as a singles competitor, man. He really is. He really is. I think he should just get traded to Raw and pair up with Melina, who reportedly, is supposed to be coming back to the WWE. But you know, she claimed that those reports were false. That's what she claimed. That's what she claimed. Now, I originally thought the rumors were false too. But it sounded to me like the rumors are true. It's sounding to me like the rumors are true that she is returning to WWE. That's what that's sounding like. So we'll see if she actually makes her return in the draft. And that is going to surprise a lot of people. Especially people that are fans of Melina. It's going to be interesting to see where she's going to end up in the draft if she returns next week. If Melina makes her return next week, of course. So anyways, here's what I have this match between Otis and John Morrison. You know, he was originally Johnny Nitro. Yeah, that John Morrison. That Lucha Underground John Morrison, that John Morrison. Yeah, that one. So, anyways, so the match gets underway, and Morrison takes the back, and Otis backs him in the corner. Morrison sits on the top rope and taunts Otis, then kicks him away. Morrison rolls outside, but Otis clubs him with a forearm as he tries to enter the ring, then hits some bit clotheslines and a flapjack. Otis catches Morrison with a overhead belly to belly, then slams him and hits the caterpillar. Otis goes to the middle rope and hits the top rope splash for the quick win. Folks, this squash match was fucking terrible. We don't need this kind of garbage booking on SmackDown. This was a god-awful booking by WWE. I don't understand why they keep booking these garbagely squash matches. Otis again. Are you fucking serious with the squash match? I mean, why the fuck would they even book this garbage? I don't get it. Wait. I have the answer. It's the simple fact that WWE are absolutely fucking clueless. They're fucking clueless when it comes to creative garbage booking. They're fucking clueless. There's your answer right there, folks. I made that as simple as pie. I made this answer as simple as this answer could be. Alright, moving on to the next. So Otis revealed that next week he will defend himself in court over the head of his Money in the Bank contract because he is the only person he can trust to represent himself. Commercial break. Sheamus makes his way to the ring for a match, and we see a promo from Big E posted to social media earlier yesterday. Big E challenges Sheamus to a street fight next week. And you know, it's funny that I mentioned Otis versus John Morrison because we had another garbage squash match booking. We had another terrible garbage squash match booking on SmackDown last night. Man, I swear, this fucking show sucks, man. The middle of these shows fucking suck, man. They do. They do. The beginning and the ending of some of these shows are better than the middle of these shows, man. It just It's like the middle of these shows, they suck every time, man. They need to work on bettering the middle of these shows, man. Bettering these shows as a whole, period. But every time you tell WWE that, I've said this multiple times, every time you tell WWE that they need to better these Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, and NXT shows, they don't listen. Vince McMahon, Bruce, WWE Creative, and WWE Management don't listen. You want to know why? I'll give you the simplest answer ever. WWE Management and Creative, Vince McMahon and Bruce, does not care about the talent nor the shows. They care about themselves. They care about themselves and what they want, not what we want. It's that simple. They don't even care about the viewership and the ratings. There's your answers right there, folks. There's your answers. Simplest answer I just ever mentioned. The simplest answer I can ever come up with. The simplest answer on planet Earth. That's the only answer I can come up with as to why. As to why. You know what I just said. So I'm not even going to repeat it. So anyways, we got this. We got Sheamus versus Chad Gable. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait, Chad Gable. Oh, God. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Chad Gable. Oh, I'm so sorry, man. I got your name wrong. Oh, man. I'm sorry. Oh, man. Oh, man. I did that on purpose. I'm sorry, bro. Thought your name was Chad Gable, but it's Shorty G. Oh, man. Shorty G. Chad Gable is a better name than Shorty G. Shorty G just sounds like absolute garbage. The name sounds like fucking main roster garb-ish. That's exactly what that name is. It's some main roster garbage. Just like this fucking match was some main roster garbage. This Sheamus versus Chad Gable match. Oh, God, I said it again. Oh, God, it's Shorty G. Oh, God. Oh. Anyways. Can't believe I said that again. Anyways. So we got Sheamus versus Chad Gable for the third time in a row. How many times are they going to give us the same matches every Friday nights? I am sick of seeing the same fucking matches on this show, man. I really am. If they're not feuds, don't even bother booking these matches, WWE. If they're not feuds, if they have anything to do with the feuds or the storylines. And another thing I didn't understand is, why would you book Kevin Owens versus The Fiend for next week's SmackDown? The Fiend is not even a heel, in my opinion. I think the Fiend is still the top babyface in the SmackDown men's division. The Fiend hasn't even turned heel. Nobody, WWE or anybody else, has not confirmed the Fiend's heel turn. So that means the Fiend is still a top face. He's not a heel yet. Not yet, anyway. He's acting like a face. He's controlling Alexa. That seemingly looks like a heel, but he's not a heel. That's what I'm saying. Why would they book a babyface versus a babyface? Bray Wyatt is a babyface. He's not a heel. And don't even think about putting him back in that Universal Championship picture, because that is not going to work. All you're going to do is use Bray Wyatt and waste him, bury him. All you're going to do is have Roman Reigns retain his title again, just ultimately for Bray Wyatt to get completely fucking buried again. We don't need to see this garbage. We don't need to see it. We don't need to see Bray Wyatt getting buried. We don't need to see that on television. So, here's what went down with this match between Sheamus and Shorty G. I almost felt like saying Shorty T. You know, like, Shorty T, can I get some fucking tea? You know what I mean? Or Shorty Teeth. Shorty Teeth. What the fuck? Oh, man. I am out of my mind now. I'm being hella silly. I'm being hella silly now. I'm fucking weak after I just said that shit. Anyways, the bell rings and Sheamus looks to the bro kick. He looks for the bro kick, but Shorty rolls him up for two. Really, just a roll up. Sheamus runs at him in the corner, but Gable dodges and hits a German suplex for a 2 count. Shorty goes up top and looks for a moonsault, but Sheamus avoids it and hits a bro kick. Sheamus is angry, so he takes to the corner, redeems himself, and hits a second bro kick for the win. Good squash match for Sheamus, but I don't think this match should have even been booked on the show. This was a waste of time. These two squash matches, both of the squash matches were a waste of time. A very, very waste of time. It really was. Just a waste. An absolute fucking waste. And you know, it's like, really, Bruce? Otis versus Morrison, Zayn versus Hardy, Sheamus versus Chad Gable? Thanks, Bruce. You are fucking awesome with your creativity. Your booking, man. What a fucking clown Bruce is, man. What a fucking clown Bruce is, folks. I swear. I definitely can defiantly see Bruce getting fired soon, man. I hope he does. For God's sake, for my sake, I hope he does. Because he doesn't deserve to be executive director for the rest of all his life. Let's be honest. Oh my God, he's done so fucking awful since his first time as executive director. Bruce is just off at what he does, executive director, man. He's just like Vince McMahon. Thinking they can fucking control everything. You know? Which also reminds me of Impact. Kind of reminds me of Impact. Really does. Kind of reminds me of the Authority in the WWE on Monday Night Raw back then. Back when Authority was taking over Raw, you know. We freaking Authority. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, the stable Authority. Oh my God, man. I don't even want to talk about it. So, folks, after the commercial break, we got a new episode of the KO Show featuring Alexa Bliss. Owens gets his cards backstage, and behind him, a monitor flashes screens of the Firefly Funhouse. It even shows the Fiend too on the screen. If you all didn't notice, because I don't think anybody else on social media noticed. I don't even think my sources Ringside News noticed either. They just said Bray Wyatt appears on the. No. Actually, no. I just read that. It says it's flashing screens of the Firefly Funhouse. So that simply just suggested the KO show was coming up next. So I went on commercial break again. Oh my God, how many times must you do these commercial breaks, WWE? For fuck's sake, limit these commercial breaks, man. Limit these commercial breaks. Just like you limited Keith Lee's run. Just like you limited Keith Lee's debut. You might as well say Keith Lee's still limited. I mean, he's not going to be on Raw next Monday. I don't even think he's scheduled to be on Raw. They probably told him to take the dang day off. They got nothing for Keith Lee. They got no plans for Keith Lee at all. I wonder why Keith Lee has been on TV. Feel bad for the guy, man. His music still hasn't been changed. Just like KO's position on Raw. Feel bad for him. Speaking of KO, folks. KO, Kevin Owens, was in the ring and he says he jumped at the chance to be on SmackDown last night. That's because he has a lot of questions for Alexa Bliss. Of course, it says tonight, but I'm saying last night because today is Saturday. Yesterday was SmackDown. Today is Saturday. But this is your October the 2nd, 2020 SmackDown review. So don't think this is October the 3rd SmackDown review. This is your second. Anyways. Owens introduces Alexa. You knew I had to. You all knew I was going to get to that name. You all knew it. You all knew it. Alexa. I love what JD says it. He says it a whole lot better. He makes people laugh when he says it. He says it a whole lot better than I do. I'm not gonna admit, he does say it a whole lot better than I do. Number one podcast in the IWC. My number one favorite podcaster in the IWC, not to mention my inspiration. I should get an invitation to alt the script. Imagination invitation. Anyways, Owens introduces Bliss and she comes to the ring. KO says he sees a real change in Alexa. Oh man, you gotta love it, man. I love saying it like that, dude. Raw, Aleister Black. Oh my God, speaking of Aleister Black, dude. They have just completely ruined Aleister Black, man. Absolutely, completely ruined Aleister Black, man. They really have ruined him. I feel bad for Selena Vega's husband, Aleister Black, man. They are really messing up this guy's heel turn, man. They are really messing up his heel character. They're messing up his interest. They didn't even need to change his interest. They didn't even need to change his character, man. They should have just kept him as a baby face. There are too many heels on the Monday Night Raw and SmackDown roster. They need more baby faces. There's not too many baby faces on these rosters, man. They're really not. There's really not. It's just mostly heels, to me, on these rosters. And not enough baby faces. But then again, sometimes it's not enough. it's not enough heels sometimes. Sometimes it ultimately being enough. It ultimately becomes enough baby faces and, not enough heels. Sometimes it's the opposite. It goes one way and it goes another way. I guess that's a way of kind of explaining it. I'm trying, folks. So, Alexa says that she doesn't know what he means, and Owen says she's obviously not the same. Bubbly person he met in NXT 5 years ago. She says change, and she says people change. That's what she said. People change. And he should try it. Be better. Owen says she's right. He said before he would like to be better. But tonight isn't about him. He wants to know why she's the way she is. Alexa says when you're around him, it's terrifying and spine tingling at the same time. When he touches you, it's like pins and needles all over, and you can't look away from him. She says her brain has been washed, cleansed, and she is better. Owens asks if he's here, and she says he's everywhere. She says she can hear him and tells Owens to let him in. The lights flicker and the music plays. When the lights come up, the Fiend has Owens in the mandible claw and he puts him down. The Fiend turns to look at Alexa and she is unconcerned. He reaches out a hand and she gets up and takes it, then smiles and the lights go out. And it goes to commercial break. Oh, and before I read about Matt Riddle and Lance Dorado and Grand Metal League getting interviewed backstage, I just want to say that I totally, absolutely agree. I absolutely agree with what JD said on his SmackDown review. I saw his SmackDown review. I'm actually going to retweet his SmackDown review and let him know that this was his best SmackDown. His SmackDown review that I watched was his best SmackDown review on his off the script. It's one of the best SmackDown reviews I've ever seen on his SmackDown review. And he was right what he said about Alexis, man. He even said it on Twitter. He even said the same thing. He even tweeted it and said it on Twitter. So Alexa Bliss, folks, she is doing the best work of her career. We are not going to lie. Nobody's going to lie. I'm not going to lie. She's doing the best work of her career. She really is. I didn't really care about Owens coming from Raw because Owens is technically not a SmackDown superstar. He's a Raw superstar. That's why I said they shouldn't even never did this brand invitational thing. How did this make sense? How does this even make sense? The interaction was okay. The interaction with the Fiend was great, but why would you want Kevin Owens on SmackDown for a brand invitational? That's almost like SmackDown is taking a Raw superstar from the Monday Night Raw roster and using them to boost up the viewership, which is exactly why I think Kevin Owens was put on SmackDown last night. They think putting Kevin Owens on SmackDown last night boosted up the viewership, and I can tell you right now, it probably didn't. The viewership's probably going to go up today, and if it does, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you right now why. Number one, viewership is probably going to go up because of Roman Reigns once again. And number two, The Fiend's on the show. And number three, Alexa. It's probably another reason why the viewership is going to go up. And then that rematch the rematch I just saw last night, that's probably another reason why the SmackDown viewership is going to go up. Not only that, and then we had this intense, interesting match between Jey Uso and AJ Styles. So I think the viewership is finally going to go up. But that doesn't mean we didn't see some of the garbage on the show, man. There was some garbage on the show. I said that right in the open at the beginning of my review. Actually, I said that past the beginning of my review, actually. Changed that. So, I'm moving on here. Anyways, so, back here from commercial break here, we got Matt Riddle, Lance Dorado, and Grand Metalik getting interviewed backstage. They're teaming to face Corbin, Nakamura, and Cesaro. I figured that match was going to happen. I figured it was going to happen. And Riddle says his new Lucha Bros have taught him that WWE is SmackDown garbage shows that we have to fucking watch and review every week on our YouTube channels. I'm talking about us future podcasters and the current podcasters. Yeah. That sounds like a marathon to me. This fucking Monday Night Raw garbage that we are watching every Monday nights. The marathon of when is the fucking Hurt Business and the Apollo Crews feud gonna end? Oh, also the marathon of Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler teaming up as NXT Women's Champions when they're not even a team. They're not even a team. They're really not. So the Lucha say Kalisto isn't with them because he can't get his mask on, seeing as his head is so big. Bro, I feel like I'm about to completely pass the fuck out. My head hurts so bad. I had got anxiety just talking about this fucking debate, man. And my head is really hurting, dude. I should have waited till tomorrow to do my SmackDown review, man. But I decided that I wanted to do it now. Get it done and over with. Man, oh man, I tell you one thing, man. If it ain't one thing, it's another about this freaking world. This world's crazy, man. It's full of crime, full of politics. When it comes to politics, I'm a whole lot different, folks. I approach politics a whole lot different. I know I'm probably repeating myself. I'm sorry, man. It's something I do. Y'all just gonna have to kind of get used to it sometime because it's kind of what I do. Especially when I'm freaking dizzy. Like how I'm feeling now. I'm feeling kind of ill, man. My head is kind of hurting, man. I don't even have the virus. Just my head feels ill. Okay. Oh, my head hurts. But I'll be alright. I know I will. I mean, I got the Lord on my side. I mean, if I have the Lord on my side, I know I'll be alright. I mean, amen to that, right? Alright. Anyways, we got typical garbage, Baron Corbin. And we got the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura versus Lance Dorado, Grand Metalik, and Matt Riddle. I am so close to the end of my SmackDown review. I could just see it. I could just taste it. I could just feel that we're nearing the end of this SmackDown review. I cannot wait so I can end this live stream and go to fucking bed. Cause my head is completely hurting, and I am kind of sleepy. Well, I'm almost sleepy, just almost. I'm dizzy at the same time. I don't know why I'm feeling like that, but it ain't. But I'm not feeling right. It feels very, very weird. I feel very awkward, man. I feel very weird. I don't know why. My head is hurting, dude. My head is hurting. I don't know how long I can go on this review. My head is hurting like a motherfucker. So here's what happened with this 6-man tag team match. The match starts with Nakamura and Dorado, and Shinsuke clobbers him with knees, but Lance fires back with a hurricanrana. Kalisto comes walking down the ramp in a suit, shouting at his partners that they left him behind. So he goes to commercial break again. From commercial break, they return live to see Grand Metalik being pounded in the heel corner by Corbin. Corbin attacks in and hits a staling vertical suplex for a 2 count. And tags Nakamura. Metalik fights up from a headlock and hits a tilt-a-war DDT to the roll. Whatever. Both men are down and crawl to make him to the corner and hit some running forearms to the face. Riddle hits a splash, then misses a moonsault, lands a senton followed by a soccer kick for a 2 count. Nakamura rushes in, but Dorado catches him with a float over stunner. Then Cesaro slams Riddle, but Metalik drops him and jumps over the ropes into Corbin. Kalisto inadvertently hits Dorado with a kick, but the slight direction allows Matt to hit Cesaro with the Roton for the win. So after the match, Metalik Dorado argue with Kalisto, but Matt Riddle jumps between them. So we see a replay of Bayley's explanation of her attack on Sasha Banks a few weeks ago, then Sasha's violent return at Clash of Champions. The Boss made her way to the ring wearing a neck brace, and she'll have a lot to say after the commercial break. Alright. So, after a commercial break, we see the blonde in the dress again. And she says she got lost along the way. We see pictures of Carmella with James Ellsworth as well as R-Truth. She says she danced for us and did what she thought would make us happy, but she's not the princess anymore. It doesn't matter if she's on Raw or SmackDown, she's untouchable unless she wants to be. So then we got Sasha Banks saying Bayley should have learned how to have a backstage bone. Or a backbone, not backstage bone, excuse me. Over the years. But she's not but a coward. She's nothing but a coward, she says. A coward that used her legacy, that used her over and over to keep her title and building her legacy. I'm sorry, I'm getting some things wrong. I'm sleepy, y'all. I really am. I'm trying to hurry up so I can go to bed. So she's annoyed that she helped Bayley become the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion in history. Banks says she knows Bayley is scared and wouldn't show up tonight. But next week she has no choice because they'll be one-on-one for that title. Sasha says Bayley knows that when it comes down to just let them. And she takes off the neck brace. She doesn't stand a chance. So the Intercontinental Champion, Sami Zayn, comes to the ring, holding his title high with his ribs taped up. The match came up next. So we had, our main event was Sami Zayn defending his Intercontinental Championship against Jeff Hardy. Oh man, I'm ready to get this over so I can go to bed. I gotta tell you the news on WWE likely moving to FS1. Can't forget about that. I gotta tell y'all that. So, yeah, speaking of that, before I get started telling y'all what happened with this Intercontinental Championship match, actually, I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all the news on SmackDown moving to FS1. I'm going to go ahead and get that news out to you all real quick. Yes, I have news on WWE likely moving SmackDown to FS1 for World Series. So WWE needed to prompt their programming in the past for sporting events. So they just recently had to do that for NXT when the NHL postseason got in the way. It appears that an episode of SmackDown will need to be on a Friday and is scheduled to air on Fox. WWE will likely have to move Friday Night SmackDown to FS1 on October 23rd. It is just going to be a 1 week hiatus from Fox. So they will likely be back the next week without any issues. The last time Friday Night SmackDown had to air on FS1, they drew 888,000 viewers. I wasn't the best turnout at all, but hopefully they will get the word out a bit better this time around. WWE hasn't made any official announcement on the matter. Of course, my sources, Ringside News, will continue to monitor this situation. And of course, I will continue to monitor this situation for you all on Twitter, for my subscribers, and for my YouTube viewers. I can't even talk right tonight. I'm sleepy, man. Folks, let's go ahead and get to this main event because I'm ready to go to bed. So, the main event gets on the way and Zayn rushes Hardy, forcing him to the corner with a lockup, then up-loading punches. Zayn stomps Jeff and stands on him in the corner until the referee forces the break. So Hardy pulls himself up, it throws hands, then drops Sami with a shoulder tackle. Hardy hits the ropes and Sami attempts a leapfrog, but Jeff drop kicks him in midair. Hardy starts to target the injured rib from the huge Swanton Bomb at Clash of Champions. and knocks Zayn from the apron. Zayn comes back in and cheap shots Jeff, then looks to slam Jeff into an exposed turnbuckle pad. Seemingly removed it from during the commercial break. Jeff knocks Sami out of the ring and points the turnbuckle out to the referee. Jeff hits a baseball slide to Sami on the floor, and he crashes into the announce desk. Jeff goes out, takes a run up, and jumps off the steel steps with a leg lariat, but nobody's home, and he hits the barricade hard. Both guys are down on the floor, so they return from the break to see Sami slam Jeff for a 2 count, and he attempts to pin multiple times. We see a replay that confirms Sami did not intend to remove the turnbuckle pad during Hardy's entrance. Sami takes a rear chin lock, which Hardy tries to fight out, but gets slammed down. Zayn tosses Jeff out of the ring and rolls him out. Sami slams Jeff back first into the barricade, then gets him back inside for a 2 count. Zayn favors his ribs before climbing to the middle rope and hitting a diving elbow to the back of Jeff's neck. Zayn body slams Jeff, then goes to the top rope, but Hardy meets him there. Hardy hits Sami with a superplex, and both men are down. They both get up around the referee's 7 count, and they trade punches in the middle of the ring. Hardy gets the better of the exchange and hits a running forearm inverted atomic leg drop to the gut. Baseball drop kick and a splash for a new fall. Zayn continues. He counters a twist of fate with a backslide. Boy, I need to hurry up so I can go to bed. I am falling asleep completely. That's how you know I'm talking in my sleep. Then Sami looks for a blue thunder bomb, but Jeff hits a sunset flip pin for a near fall. Zayn hits an exploder suplex into the turnbuckles and falls down himself. Zayn stares at the exposed turnbuckle, then looks to whip Jeff into it. Hardy holds onto the ropes. Jeff punches Sami. Then hits a reverse. Then hits a reverse melee kick. Zayn dodges a splash in the corner and hits a blue thunderbolt for a near fall. Sami puts Jeff up top, but gets punched down himself. Hardy looks for a swanton bomb, but Zayn got the knees up. Hardy goes to the corner with the exposed buckle, and Sami looks for the Haluna kick, but Hardy dodges it. Hardy then attempts a whisper in the wind, but Zayn pulls his feet out, and Hardy hits the exposed buckle face first. Sami covers Hardy and scores the win. So, folks, that's going to do it for your October 2nd, 2020 Friday Smackdown review. I hope you enjoyed hearing what I had to say about last night's Smackdown. I'm getting out of here, folks. I'm getting really sleepy. I'm about to fall asleep. Hit that like, subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications. You all have a great rest of your weekend. I will see you right back here with my Monday Night Raw review. I'm getting out of here. Have yourselves a great rest of y'all's weekend. All right. Wear your mask, people. Just a reminder. Wear your mask. Keep your hands clean. And stay 6 feet away from